the elephant in the room, Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Now he signs for the rematch with Lamont Roach. Do you feel that Lamont, or who won that fight, the first fight with Gervonta and Lamont, and then going into the fight with Shakur? Talk to me about that.
Well, did you see the real punch stat?
No,
The,
what was
the,
it?
the real punch stat had Lamont winning.
Yeah, I
You
had
know what I'm
Lamont winning as
saying?
well. I was there in attendance. I had Lamont winning as well.
Right, right. And we had Lamont in the camp a couple of times, and from the first time he came in, all right, he came back again, and I seen that he picked up some stuff. You know what I mean? Particularly from us working in the camp with us, and I know he had upgraded himself then. Then next thing you know, he go on and win a championship. So, like Shakur knew, he sparred Tank, he sparred him. Not giving a stroke either way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But he knew the competitiveness that Lamont was going to bring to the ring as well as I knew. You know what I'm saying? And I knew, the type of guys that he had been fighting. And Lamont wasn't that guy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I had questions and all that thing about his first 20 opponents having what 240 something losses. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Everybody he had the knockouts, but everybody that they got in the ring knocked him out too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When you fight guys with 44 losses, you go on to Mexico, taking the fast track. You see like guys like Keyshawn, Shakur, those guys on the top rank. They fast track was fighting against guys with winning records to make them better. Now, knocked out a bunch of guys that damn near everybody they fought knocked out. And now, you got that superstar status, you know what I'm saying? Now, when you got to fight somebody for real, that you didn't better yourself by fighting higher and higher levels of better and better talent, man, somebody going to come up short.
Definitely, definitely. And Shakur said that this rematch between Gervonta and Lamont is very dangerous. And we've seen upsets before in the past. So going into this rematch, who do you think wins this fight? And Shakur had called out Lamont as well. He said, if you can't get the rematch, I'll take that fight. Shakur's willing to face anyone, but it seems like he can't get a fight. Lamont is that type of fighter that will take the invitation
Right,
from Shakur. So how do you
right.
see Lamont and Gervonta, the rematch going?
Well, you look at it, I look at it like this here. Before, you had one guy was Superman. You had one guy come in the ring and felt like he was that kryptonite, right?
Yeah,
So now, once he found out that that kryptonite affected Superman, the next time you go in there, you're gonna use more kryptonite.
absolutely.
So in other words, I think you're gonna see a better Lamont. Now,
Will we see a
when
better
you
tank?
yeah, but I don't know about that because when you look at it, like I said, you know, when guys like me and us been around the amateurs for a long time, we seen people lose. You know what I'm saying? We know that
Yeah,
they can be beat. We know that they have been beat. You know what I'm saying? So when you see that guy that talent go up against somebody else, you know one guy is capable of losing. All the other guy has to do is pretty much show up.
definitely. That's true.
Oh, if you losing in the amateurs, don't think, hey, them losing is not on your mind.
It happened already. Yeah.
It happens. That's why a lot of people jump out the amateurs and run to Mexico. So they ain't got to fight them tough guys to prove who they are. They can cut around them. But knowing once you get to the pros, you're going to see them anyway,
Absolutely. You have to meet.
unless you avoid them. Unless you one of these guys or somebody's your mandatory and you refuse to fight them, oh, I ain't fighting, I'm moving up, or all that kind of crazy shit.
Exactly. Exactly.
A lot of people don't look at that. And especially when you talk about people coming back down the weight to fight, my thing is that why did they ever leave if they can come back down?
Javante and Tank, did
Uh,
Shakur put on a master class and win most of the rounds, or will it be competitive in your opinion? He has that dangerous power. Maybe he lost desire for the sport. Maybe he's paid too well. Marvin Hagler said that it's hard to wake up when you're sleeping in silk pajamas to go running 5 miles in the morning. You know,
right, right.
does he have that desire, Tank? And
Well,
how does that fight play out?
well, you look, you know, not to no fault of his own through management and everything else. He been pretty much given a easy road. You know what I mean? Have he ever got to that point where he actually really knows what it takes? You know what I'm saying? We see what happened with this Lamont Rose fight. Because Lamont was out there. Lamont tried to make the Olympics and all that too. So when you get on a USA teams and whatnot, now you fighting a lot of people that done there won more than you won just as much as you won. And they definitely fought more fights than you won. Because now when you get to the worlds, when you get it's 195 nations in the world. And
Definitely.
the top 60 go to the world tournament. So now you got 600 athletes there, pretty much, right? So
Yep.
now from each city, so now when you go in there and you got to fight them guys and whatnot, you're not only gaining experience, right? Okay, hey, you building your resume, cause the more you succeed, the further you're gonna go, the more you're gonna get known. Like Shakur was fortunate enough to win all the prestigious tournaments, particularly in Russia. You know what I mean? When he fought many of Southpaws. You know what I mean? When, matter of fact, when he won his first world championship, he fought against the defending world champion in Ukraine, and he was a Ukrainian. So he's a top level guy. So when you fight, as a matter of fact, I think we fought another world champion from Kazakhstan, Abakistan, Kazakhstan, and Kazakhstan. We fought with some
Exactly.
champions from all those countries, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he beat them. So we saw a lot of the Russian styles from up in Georgia. We saw a lot of the Ukrainian styles. We saw a lot of Azerbaijan styles, them gun styles that you see. So like fighting against guys like Zepeda and those guys, we've seen a lot of them all over the world. So that different style and whatnot is not new to us. And when you go to the world tournaments, you don't know who you're gonna fight. Actually, if you land, you don't give a up who you gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Shakur look at it. You know, it ain't this guy that got a name this, the name that. You know what I'm saying? He really don't care about the names. He care about the title you got or something like that. There,
Yeah, yeah.
you
Definitely.
know what I'm saying? Even if just say, even if kid was undefeated and hadn't, wasn't talking all this and all this, and everybody was talking about him, so the kid is getting, Shakur ain't gonna hate on him or nothing like that, but Shakur gonna want to beat him and show you this here kid ain't the best.
Yeah. I hear that.
Hey, that's just how he built, man.
So how does he beat Javante Davis? Does he do it easily, or is it going to be a tough fight?
Well, let me just say this here. We've been around a lot of top southpaws in the world, not just the country, in the world. I mean, top guys, man, top guys. You see, right now we got top undefeated guys in our camp. We had Abdullah Masons and all of them came up in our camp. You know what I mean? Boxing us, using those guys. So now I can tell you this here: I haven't seen a southpaw in the world that's faster than Shakur.
Yeah, he has that speed. Yes,
Huh?
he has that speed. Yes, I agree.
Hey, well, listen. Well, best by him, internationally going undefeated and not losing a round, that says enough right there. Now, for you to impress the entire world outside of the United States, that you a fighter that deserved to be voted as the #1 amateur fighter in the world. That includes all weight divisions. That's which is what he did. You
Definitely.
understand? All the top guys in the world, he was the #1. Every weight class, he was the #1. That's who that award goes to. The best fighter, the fighter that they feel is the best fighter in the world. And
Well,
this was a consensus of nations, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Hey. You can't help it. You can't help who
Exactly.
he is.
Well, Turkey Al Sheikh, he says that that's one of the main fights that he wants to make, Gervonta and Shakur Stevenson. But there were
Yeah.
rumors that they were in talks about that. Is there any details about that?
Well, hey, that's the fight Shakur want. It's the only fight to make right now. Because,
I agree.
nobody else is fighting us, you know what I'm saying? And the guys out there, we're gonna see what they all do. When they start to fight each other. And then we're just gonna see who the last man standing is.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to that fight. I can't wait. So, we'll be there. We'll be there. I'll see you, and Louis Armstrong. What
Uh-huh.
is that? Next month, July 13th. We'll be
July.
there. We'll see you
Right.
there.